Good afternoon, everyone. Jason Karam here. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the Brexit situation since the start of the general elections and what to look for moving forward. Starting from the pre-election, basically Boris Johnson have negotiated and secured a withdrawal agreement bill with the EU before the general elections, leaving the most important part, which is the trade deal, to be negotiated until December 2020. The Conservatives' plan, led by Boris Johnson, was favored over the Labour one because of the stability that it would bring for the investors. The market wanted basically Boris Johnson's plan to win. The Conservative Party, on the election day, which was the 12th of December, right here, the Conservatives win the elections by a big majority, securing 365 seats in the parliament. The GBP, ended up rallying on the results because it meant that they could pass the withdrawal agreement bill without any problem and get Brexit done and over with. So what happened next? Basically, Boris Johnson stated in one of his speeches that he wanted to negotiate a Canada free trade style agreement with the EU, and that he will, without a question, quit the EU by December 2020 with or without a deal. He later then announced that he was going to rule out the possibility of extending the exit date and even made a law out of it. At the same time, we had speeches from several EU members, including Michel Barnier, that were out saying that negotiating a trade deal of this caliber could that respects the demands of both parties would be statistically impossible to achieve in a year, given that the Canada trade deal took 7 years to conclude. And all of this basically came raising the uncertainty in the market surrounding politics, and we have seen the pound take back all of the gains earlier that printed earlier from the elections, and even more as markets were restarting to price in the possibility of a no-deal exit, given the hard stance of Boris Johnson. On the other hand, though, we have seen investor sentiment as well as consumer confidence pick up due to the Conservatives' win, resulting in the Bank of England keeping the interest rates on hold and having an overall more optimistic view on the economy. And this has helped the pound to keep afloat for the past few weeks. So what's next moving forward? The UK and EU have set out their goals for the upcoming negotiations on the trade deal, and they clearly showed that they have contrasting demands. Boris Johnson wants a Canada-style agreement with no tariffs and is absolutely opposed to being aligned with European regulations. And Michel Barnier, on the other hand, wants the UK and the EU to maintain a level playing field where the UK would stay true to EU rules on subsidies and standards. So this comes to show that both parties have contrasting goals moving forward into the negotiations, raising some concerns about the future of the UK and the pound. Going forward, the developments on negotiations are going to be key. The more the exit date approaches without any advancements on negotiations, the more the uncertainty will rise. And once it starts affecting the economy in the UK, so basically the consumer confidence and the sentiment of the investors, we could see the pound weaken further. On the other hand, if one of the two parties starts conceding to accelerate a deal, or if the exit date ends up being reported for later, it should help ease the uncertainty in the markets and support the economical expansion, and we could see the pound further rally. So that's it for me today. If you have any other questions, hit me up in private or write it down in the comments below. I'll make sure to answer them as fast as possible. And that's it. See you on the next video. Cheers.